I have always opined on this platform that in politics, nothing happens out of mere coincidence, and that everything in politics is normally well planned, well scripted, and executed to achieve a specific political objective. There is this leaked video of Oscar Sudi and Didmus Barasa. In that video, Didmus Barasa is telling Oscar Sudi how he is broke and therefore he wants to sell one of his petrol stations because he doesn't have the money and the campaigns are proving to be expensive. And I don't know where that particular video was recorded from. But from the setup, that video was clearly recorded either in someone's home or house, or it was recorded in one of the high-end hotels. But the question is, why was that video leaked? And to achieve what political objective? And by who?
So unajua hii campaign inakuwa very expensive. Na niko na kashamba huko Kitengela nilikuwa nataka nijenge flats. Sasa nimeamua kuuza nimeamua kutafuta mtu nimuuzie kale ka petrol station kama kale. Sababu watu wananibia mafuta haifai mzuri.
Petrol station?
Yeah.
So utafute Rubis. Au you Rubis?
Rubis ni gani? Ile naona
hii unaona iko kila mahali, ilianza 2-3 years ago. Lakini iko all over. Wananunua hata petrol station ile ya mashine mbili. Na wanakupatia na bei nzuri sana.
Watanunua?
Au you wenye Rubis wewe?
Mimi sijui, mimi nafikiri sijui
wa gas kwa wana import mafuta wenyewe. Yaani wale hata tafuta mchapa atafute contact na Rubis. Hiyo watakutoa, hiyo ni mara moja. Watasolve your problem.
Hiyo kitu nataka niuze haraka kabisa.
Hiyo Rubis my friend. Rubis iko inanunua kila mahali.
Martin, tafuta Constant, muende Google. Nimeambiwa kuna hii kampuni ya mafuta inaitwa Rubis. Google mpate contact zao. Waambie na nataka kuuza ile petrol station ile yangu hiyo. Inataka niuze. Watafute wapate, alafu sitaki wajue mimi ndio nauza. Nyinyi mtakupatia, mtafute Juliet negotiate na wao. Nataka niuze shamba pamoja na kila kitu, sitaki ule ukodesha, nataka kuuza kabisa.
Nao ndio napenda hivyo sasa.
Wanunua kabisa. Wakinunua, unajua wewe ndakutafutia ka something.
Nimekupea aina
kabisa. Yeah.
Now, from that conversation, it is clear that the video is real. But why was it recorded? Who recorded the video? Because clearly, Oscar Sudi and Didmus Barasa was seated at the other side. And the video is clearly recorded from this side. Which means if there were other people in the room, then they should be able to know who recorded that video. Which takes us to the first question. Who recorded that particular video? You know, these are elected leaders, they have securities. They can't be careless to record such kind of conversation. Even if they were in a group and someone was recording, at least they would have stopped that person. Is it possible that a secret camera was mounted somewhere without their knowledge and recorded their conversation? Who recorded this particular video? Now, that is the first question. I'll be interested because, you know, Oscar Sudi is a very close ally of the deputy president. He's one guy who has always been trusted by the deputy president whenever he's going outside the country or whenever he's holding high-level meeting, which means Oscar Sudi should be very careful. And of course, Oscar Sudi is very careful. Didmus Barasa is a former military officer. Therefore, Didmus Barasa should be very careful. So, if they never recorded this particular conversation, who recorded it? Was it a secret camera? That's number one, the first question. The second question is, what was the objective of recording this video? Because whoever recorded this video, if these guys don't know him, If it was a secret camera, it means this guy knew that these guys from this particular meeting they were, or assuming it was a rally, then they were going to meet at this specific point. So someone was given a secret camera and recorded. But what was the objective of recording? Two things come to my mind. Probably someone wanted to hear the thinking of these gentlemen after their rally. What we've been shown is basically what they want us to see. This video cannot only be about this particular Ruby's thing. It must have been long, but the rest they don't want us to. They don't want us to know the rest of the conversation. They just want us to know this bit. So probably these guys wanted just to know what these guys were thinking. Secondly, it could be that these guys have started spying on William Ruto's allies so that they can know their thinking. But the biggest question is it possible that this camp has already been infiltrated? There is nothing as frustrating to a politician as a camp which is infiltrated. I've always told you the story of Raila Odinga's campaign in the last election. I remember we were recruited to work for him, to do certain online work. But the moment of when we were about just to report, me and some of my friends there was some delay. Before we knew, some people had started implementing what we wanted to implement. Actually, the document we shared with Raila, someone had started implementing. So it later hit us that some people had been hired. And when we realized this, we told them that this team you've hired, probably they are not for the good. So we tried pursuing, we reached a dead end. We were later vindicated that that particular team was actually infiltrated. That team, there were people who are working for Uhuru Kenyatta and William Ruto. That was in 2017. So just a day to the election, a lady and some gentlemen who were part of that group started pointing out, oh, you know, Raila Odinga this time around, guys, when we go out there and Raila Odinga lost the election, let us just go by that. Let us just accept online. Let's just starting that campaign that we've been defeated and we move on. That's when it dawned on these people that the team that they had hired to run their social media were actually infiltrated. I remember being called after the election and they were very remorseful that they didn't know. So if there's nothing as frustrating as a team which is infiltrated, because it will create suspicion. Like in this matter, if these guys can't identify the person who recorded this particular video, his objective of sharing that video, and by to who, like if this guy recorded this video, right, it's possible just in the because of excitement, you are meeting with Washimiwa and they are discussing things. Yeah, you record, then you share. But their question is, why were they sharing it? And to who? Like if one of their members recorded it and shared it, with who? The tough question, with who? And for what? So it clearly means that this particular team is frustrated, is infiltrated, which takes us to the objective or what we can learn from this leak. Number one is that William Ruto's team is already broke. You know, just the other day, we saw Didmus Barasa organizing very huge rallies. Then I want to assume that this meeting is after they attended the late Serut's funeral. You know, during that day, they also attended several rallies. So I want to assume that the team is broke. And that's why this guy is telling Oscar Sudi he wants to sell that petrol. And by the way, my thinking is that he was telling Oscar Sudi so that if Oscar Sudi is interested, then Oscar Sudi could actually go ahead and purchase it. But because Oscar Sudi is also not that liquid, because you know, when these guys are liquid, they buy such kind of properties. Then they keep or they sell. Like Oscar Sudi would have bought it without telling Didmus Barasa to sell it to Ribwis, so that after buying it from Barasa, then he can then sell it to Rubies at a much higher price. So it tells you that William Ruto team is already broke. Previously, this team had money flowing. You remember the Sky team. So I think the team is broke, and that is the message. Basically, the person who recorded that particular video wanted to let you know that that team is broke already. That's number two is the fact that these two gentlemen are lawmakers and they don't know about the ownership of rubies. While in public rallies, they've always told us about rubies. Now, on a serious matter which is touching on them, it's like they don't even know who owns rubies, which should be a wake-up call to us as citizens, that these members of parliament are actually just taking us for a ride. For a ride. Otherwise, some of us have been told by the same members of parliament that rubies is owned by Uhuru Kenyatta. And that's why now, after Oscar Sudi raised that issue, that's why Didmus Barasa is like, oh, then these guys should not know it's me selling. And what next after this leak? You know, this document has been leaked. I mean, this audio has been leaked. But what next? That's the most important question. What next after the leakage? How will they handle their subsequent meetings? How will they handle those they hang around with? How will they be handling the areas they are going to after rallies? I don't know what you think, but that's my take. And I want us to go to my next video, which is coming up, if not today, but maybe tomorrow morning. Linturi, I've seen he's declared his interest for the Meru gubernatorial seat, which definitely means that he's not going to face Kiraitu Murungi. And therefore, Kiraitu Murungi will then now decide to run as the governor on Azimio, because Kiraitu Murungi was still undecided whether to join Azimio or whether to join One Kenya. But with Linturi now declaring his interest, I don't think there's going to be a chance for Kiraitu Murungi in UDA. So definitely now go to Azimio. So that's going to be my next video. Thank you guys, and may you have a good day. Bye-bye.